we're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So, were you surprised by the reaction?
You are not reading too far into it.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring,
often determined trait.
I did a gene ad.
Coming off the heels of one of the strangest years in culture to date, we have now officially entered into a brand new fashion era. An era defined by AI slop,
artificial intelligence influencers are a growing industry,
endless nostalgia bait, and GLP-1 normalcy.
And welcome to the 82nd Golden Globes, Ozempic's biggest night.
And with the new year comes a new set of the hottest fashion takes that you'll ever see. Some good, some bad, and some downright ridiculous. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Drew. What it do? It's nice to meet you. Let's talk 2026 fashion predictions. If you've been paying attention recently, you'll have noticed that there's been an unprecedented interest around the conscious decision to unplug from the digital world. In the wake of hyper-realistic AI-generated content, social media has gone from seeing what your friend did last weekend to a constant fodder of Instagram models traveling the world, algorithm fashion becoming the hottest trends, and artificially produced media flooding our feeds. But because of this media, it also awakened a counter-reaction to this content. The idea of being offline as opposed to online is sexier than ever, and making the decision to curate how you get your information has become more and more important. If you don't deliberately pay attention to what you watch, then you might be inadvertently plugging into political propaganda, dangerous echo chambers, and nonsensical trends. Because of our new digital landscape, the first prediction that I have is that there will be a widening of the gap between offliners and onliners. Onliners will talk about trends and engage in lifestyles that only really exist via the niches of their For You pages, while offliners will care about things local in their life, community events and neighborhood trends, those sort of in real life spaces. This idea isn't new, and it's definitely something that is happening or has happened in the last year or 2 years. But in 2026, like I said, that gap will widen. The world has never felt more politicized than it has today, and that has and will continue to trickle into the fashion world. The biggest, or one of the biggest indicators of this from 2025 were the 2025 Denim Wars. The Denim Wars were a series of jeans-focused advertisements that highlighted varying types or forms of pseudo-political messaging that sprouted out of different types of advertisements from major fashion brands. Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle sparked what many called eugenics-like comments in their advertisement. And then you had Cat's Eye and Gap fire back with a more diverse and progressive campaign, trying to illuminate some of the ethos of what they want the brand to speak to their consumers. And then you had Addison Rae and Lucky Brand highlight what our society believes is kind of cool and sexy. And then you had Lily Collins and Calvin Klein, which re-emphasized our current obsession with 90s minimalism. And then you can't forget about Beyonce and Levi's and the Cowboy Carter rollout, which all of these advertisements, people try to paint political associations either subtly or more outspokenly about ringing the alarm bells about how the world is moving. Are we moving towards more conservatism and more conservative values, or are we pushing forward towards progressivism and more progressive values? Each of these women in each of these advertisements reflect different elements within our culture, but they also spoke and evoked different reactions politically, which I predict we will see more of in 2026. Curious to know what you think about the first two predictions of this video, and if you're enjoying the video up until this point, make sure to like and subscribe. I think 2026 is going to be an amazing year for the channel, and I don't think you want to miss any videos. The term Y3K has begun to gain momentum within the zeitgeist, and I can't tell if I hate it or I love it. Basically, Y3K is the evolutionary step forward from Y2K. The emphasis is even more on this fusion of fashion and technology. From what I know and what I've experienced over the last 5 years of trends is that most version 2 of trends don't last very long. Most 2.0 trends don't really make it as macro trends. And honestly, Y3K just feels like Y2K with a new name slapped on top of it. And because of that, I think its days are numbered in the zeitgeist. Is 2026 gonna be the year of baggy jeans or skinny jeans? Barrel jeans or balloon jeans? Capris, showing the ankle. There's so many ideas about jeans in 2026. It's madness. And at this point, the long-standing debate, baggy versus skinny, is probably a debate that we should put to rest because there isn't really a clear winner in 2026. What I've noticed is that the people who care more about baggy jeans tend to be younger, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, online, kind of just, that's the mode of jeans for the youth. While skinny jeans tend to skew more towards older individuals, millennials, baby boomers, maybe people who just aren't as much like in the chronic online spaces as the younger generation. So you have like the parents and the kids, you know what I mean? Or maybe there's a little, middle generation there that can go either way, but depending on who you spend time with, what media you consume, more young people go baggy. I think more older people go skinny. And skinny jeans have begun to become more and more popular, especially in women's wear, but I think it's up in the air, man. It's up in the air. Both will be popular in 2026, but I think more people will actually end up wearing baggier, looser silhouettes as opposed to skinny jeans. I think we're still in the era, the renaissance of baggy jeans in the 2020s. There maybe was an era in the past, but we don't have to get into that can of worms. In 2024, the no buy challenge really resonated with a lot of people because they realized how entrenched in consumerism our society is. But by 2025, I sort of expected this idea, especially because it was an online For You page, TikTok trend, to fizzle out. And now in 2026, I actually think one of the biggest shifts in culture will be the no buy or consume less trend. Obviously, not everyone will participate, but just like being offline will slowly become cooler, taking care of what you have and focusing on quality, long-lasting items will continue to be more important. And this also reflects back to a video I made, the last video I made for 2025, highlighting how luxury will see a decline because it no longer fulfills the value proposition of the price that you have to pay for the goods that you actually receive. I gave the example of Wisdom and Miu Miu, but there's tons of stories of people spending hundreds, thousands of dollars on a particular item in the luxury fashion sphere, and that item just not holding up to what it should at that price point. The last prediction I have, which was pulled from some of these wonderful comments, was that 2026 will cement the era of unseriousness in fashion and culture in all realms because of how the internet is moving. Irony, comedy, and unseriousness are what online media has been pulled towards, like dragged towards over the last several years. Just go to any comment section of any TikTok or Instagram reel, and what you'll find are the funny guys. Not just guys, of course, but content that is ironic for the sake of being ironic, for the sake of views. The performative male, the quarter zip trend, the big red boots. All of these trends to me signify that collectively, as a society, as Gen Z, millennial, whatever generation, we're all looking for a release from the pain of the real world. And we're finding that release in unserious ideas and content on social media. What other fashion predictions do you have for 2026? Leave them down in the comments, and if there's enough good ones, maybe we'll make a part 2. One thing that I want to point your attention to is a video by Katie Robinson. She made a similar video of this vein talking about 2026 trend predictions or fashion predictions, and I made a little bit of a cameo in that video. So if you have a little bit of extra time, go check out her video. I'll leave it down in the description. As always, I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity in 2026. So that means I'm spreading peace, love, and wait. As always, I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity in 2026. So that means peace, love, and positivity will be in your mix. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day. Abianto. Peace. Yo, what is good? Post baby. Here to fist bumps for the one time. First fist bumps of 2026. My guy, my girl, here to fist bumps. Give your boy a fist bump right now. Show some love. Bah! Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Here's the second one. Bah! You stay to the end of these videos. Sometimes I give you a little bit of Drew what it do speciality in the end. And it's just a fun time. Hashtag PVV. We'll see you in the next week's video. Video number 1. What do you think about the trends? Hashtag PVV when you answer. We'll see you next week, guys. Peace.